What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Chum Change. This is live and recorded. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to @ me in the chat. Let me see who's here. Sorry, I'm running a little behind. I had to restart my computer. I don't know what's going on with it. It was acting quite slow, so hopefully we don't have any issues today. All right, let's see. Chris Hanley, what's up, buddy? Steven Cicero, we got Sloth Squash in the house. Heinz Crypto, what's up, buddy? Leo Lusting, Integra Guy, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Titan Nightmare, who else? Automatic Beats, my man. Good to see you. Happy Friday to everybody that is at work. Hopefully it's payday for you and you're having a better day than yesterday, right? All right, let's see. Let me switch this over to live chat and let's get into checking out the market real quick. Here we go. All right, Bitcoin still hovering right around 28,000. How do you guys feel about it? It's not looking too bad in general. Ethereum 1756, under 1800 again, but I mean everything's still green, so overall looking good. LTC is 90 bucks, as you can see right there. Doge is 7 cents, XRP 42 cents. I mean, things are looking pretty good as of right now. Who knows what's going to happen in the next couple days? Let's see. Fear and Greed Index is at 61, so nothing to be too crazy about. Not too greedy, not too fearful, so that's pretty good. Let's see, top 10 coins. We got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, USD Coin, XRP in 6th, Cardano, Dogecoin still in 8th, Lotto Staked Ether, and Polygon in 10th. Crypto bubbles, let's see. We have the daily right here. This is ARB still down 72.2%. And this site's just kind of cool to look at. So it's interesting, right? Check it out. How do you guys feel about it? Not too bad, right? All right, let's get into today's video. So this is Altcoin Daily. Huge shout out to them for this video, but Coinbase seems to be having the next I guess they're in the mouths of the SEC, right? When it comes to lawsuits and unregistered securities and following the rules and stuff. So I figured this would be super interesting, I guess, to listen to, and then we'll get into Linus Tech Tips actually made a video about his channel getting hacked, so we'll watch that towards the end of this video. But either way, let's see what they have to say here about Coinbase and we'll go from there. Let's do it.
The SEC issued crypto exchange Coinbase a Wells notice, warning the company that it identified potential violations of U.S. securities law. A Wells notice is typically one of the final steps before the SEC formally issues charges.
Yes, breaking news if you hold cryptocurrency, as being tweeted by CEO of Coinbase, Brian Armstrong. Today, Coinbase received a Wells notice from the SEC focused on staking and asset listings. A Wells notice typically precedes an enforcement action. So the SEC suddenly has a problem with Coinbase's staking services and how they list assets. But here, Brian Armstrong explains why this is so outrageous. 2 years ago, the SEC reviewed our business in detail and approved Coinbase to go public. Our S1 clearly explained our asset listing process and included 57 references to staking. The SEC said nothing. Coinbase runs a rigorous asset...
Interesting. So they submitted all the information telling them what they were doing exactly, and they got nothing. That's crazy.
...that review process and has rejected more than 90% of assets that applied. While we understand that this is all part of the journey to reforming our financial system, we are right on the law, confident in the facts, and welcome the opportunity for Coinbase, and by extension, the broader crypto community, to get before a court.
So that, like, literally, they're going after every big player to more or less gain control over the crypto space. That's what's happening. I mean, if Brian Armstrong and Coinbase actually did submit paperwork and tell them exactly what they were doing, there shouldn't be any issues here. I don't know what's going on, but
so Coinbase will not just roll over. They are fighting back against the SEC. And Brian finishes by stating, "We are proud to stand up for our customers and the industry in these moments." Now, if this was just a one-off from the SEC, that'd be one thing. But it looks like this is part of a much bigger sweep against the crypto community. Kraken to suspend ACH deposits and withdrawals following Silvergate shutdown.
Oh boy.
Meaning because of these bank shutdowns, it's now much harder to find an on or an off ramp for crypto. Kraken clients will no longer be able to use ACH deposits and withdrawals through Silvergate. We are working to make ACH funding options available through alternative funding providers as soon as possible and will communicate details with clients as soon as we can. So all of a sudden, all at once, all these crypto exchanges are now scrambling. It seems that they're going to attempt to limit/block the exit ramps to Bitcoin exchanges as the banking system gets run. It's starting.
So real quick, just like not financial advice or whatever, just trying to give you guys a little, heads up. If you need to get some money out, do it sooner than later, just in case, because we don't know what's going to happen. If they're going to shut off the off ramps, like selling crypto and sending it to your bank, then you're going to be in a pickle, right? Or in a pinch. So make sure you get anything you need to send over to your bank account sooner than later. Not financial advice, but that's what I'm doing personally. So I need to take out a couple $100. So I'm going to sell some, get it over there today, just to see and make sure nothing happens before I am screwed and then I can't do it. You know what I mean?
Meaning it appears they're making it harder for you.
More people panic. Not saying that this is going to happen and they're going to shut it off, but just in general, just be prepared. That's all I'm saying.
You and me to buy Bitcoin, opt out, be our own bank, as all these banking units are getting shut down. As tweeted by Sandeep, the founder of Polygon, he says, "So confused with this notice to Coinbase. Coinbase is the gold standard of compliance in crypto. As a regulator, why would you go after the most compliant company of the industry? Doesn't it discourage everybody else from trying to be US compliant? What's going on over there in the US?" And probably no coincidence, the SEC issued these notices on the very same day.
Pretty interesting too.
Just in, the SEC has charged 8 celebrities regarding illegal touting of Tron TRX and BitTorrent token BTT without disclosing that they were being paid. So these
Look at that. That's crazy, huh? Jake Paul, Lindsay Lohan, Soulja Boy.
Celebrities being charged are as follows: Lindsay Lohan, Jake Paul, Soulja Boy, Akon, etc. And by the way, this
and
one,
everybody
in my
else
mind,
I didn't highlight because I have no idea who they are.
needed, very justified. I like the SEC cleaning up this aspect of crypto. And now looking specifically at the official SEC press release, the SEC is also charging Justin Sun with market manipulation and wash trading. The SEC also charged Sun and his companies with fraudulently manipulating the secondary market for TRX through extensive wash trading, which involves the simultaneous or near simultaneous purchase and sale of a security to make it appear actively traded without an actual change in beneficial ownership, which of course would fool any average retail investor just looking at the volume of cryptocurrencies on these exchanges. And then the SEC is also charging for orchestrating a scheme to pay celebrities to tout TRX and BTT without disclosing their compensation. Wait a second. If Tron is potentially a security, if Coinbase has potentially listed all these securities from the SEC, does that make Ethereum? Ethereum co-founder Joe Lubin comments.
Being the co-founder of Ethereum, I want to focus on Ether for a moment because there was this lawsuit.
So this is a good point. Before they dive into it, I just want to elaborate a little bit. So this, you know how we're talking about the Shanghai upgrade coming on the 12th of April, I believe. That's the more or less being able to unstake anybody that staked Ethereum. They're allowed to take it out, right? Now, this guy talking about what they're talking about here, Ethereum being an unregistered security, that could be the curveball in the Shanghai upgrade that really does make people pull their staked Ethereum out, right? Because, I mean, people that staked it had no intention of taking it out ever. They just wanted it as passive income because they had no end date to when they could actually take out that Ethereum. So initially, I don't think it really would make people steal or take their money back out of the market. But something like this, if they do get nailed as an unregistered security, I wonder if people would sell it and trade it into something else prior to the Shanghai upgrade. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of my thoughts anyways.
Bought by the New York Attorney General against KuCoin. Within that, the New York AG suggested that if Ether could be a security. As part of that, they say that the shift of proof to stake has incentivized users to own ETH due to the pooling method and the nature of the way the Ethereum blockchain works. What's your view on that? Do you think it's a security?
So anybody can say anything. It doesn't make it true. It's unfortunate that that sort of sideswipe was made, but I don't think it's all that relevant.
But people are trading it and staking it with the expectation of profit. That is one of the determinants of what is a security. Sure. So is that not concerning?
People buy barrels of oil with the expectation of profit.
You see that? So that's no different than buying silver, gold, all that stuff, right? People they buy oil in expectation to earn money over the long term, right? Like sell it tomorrow for $5 more. Like that's kind of what he's getting at. But I don't know. It makes me a little nervous about the whole Shanghai upgrade and what is going to happen with Ethereum overall.
Good point. So you're confident at this point that Ether is not a security? What if it is?
Definitely not.
What's the
What if it is a security?
What are the implications?
I don't think there's any point to speculate on something that is extremely unlikely.
He's been PR trained.
And to give you all sides of the story, this channel gives you all the information. Some are saying,
yeah, guys, go hit that like and subscribe, please, if you haven't already. Also, this is Altcoin Daily. I will leave links to everything we see here today down in the description below.
Wells' notice to Coinbase will turn out eventually to benefit.
It has to do with safety and security, and I don't think this is necessarily a negative thing. If they were to prevail, I think it would be good for the company because it would define the regulation, and it would also, this is Gary Gensler, and so it also would sort of just make it clear exactly who's in charge and who you need to look to make sure that you're complying with everything regulators want you to do.
I think that's what the SEC is trying to do. It has not been given the guidance or the approval by Congress to say that it's the regulator in charge here, but I think Gary Gensler is doing everything he can to work around the edges of that and bring whatever actions he can.
Now, if you're wondering why Bitcoin just took a dip, yes, as of yesterday, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell announced a 0.25% interest rate hike.
That was on Wednesday.
This brings the federal funds rate now between 4.75 and 5%. So yes, Jerome Powell is still trying to suppress inflation, meaning yes, Jerome Powell is still trying to suppress markets. But really, we all expected this, and it was more likely the hawkish tone that Jerome Powell still had, saying the banking system is fine, liquidity is fine, we're going to raise rates as long as we need to get down to 2% inflation. Here is a 40-second recap.
Inflation remains too high, and the labor market continues to be very tight. We need to raise rates higher, we will. We remain committed to bringing inflation back down to our 2% goal and to keep longer-term inflation expectations well anchored. Our banking system is sound and resilient with strong capital and liquidity. We're doing a review of supervision and regulation. My only interest is that we identify what went wrong here. When a bank fails their investigations, and of course, we welcome that. We will continue to closely monitor conditions in the banking system and are prepared to use all of our tools as needed to keep it safe and sound. At the end of the day, we will do enough to bring inflation down to 2%. No one should doubt that.
And huge piece of breaking news, Terraform Labs co-founder Do Kwon, the CEO, the guy behind Terra Luna stablecoin, reportedly arrested in Montenegro.
Oh, damn.
The former blockchain exec is wanted by Interpol for his role in the $40 billion collapse of the Terra Luna ecosystem during May 2022. Now, we know this because this was officially announced by the Minister of Interior of Montenegro. He put out the official statement about Do Kwon. And on top of that, that exact same day, South Korean local news outlet Something News Agency said authorities confirmed, based on photo data alongside name, nationality, and age, of an identification card that the arrested individual was the same person as Terraform Labs CEO Do Kwon. And possibly the biggest piece of altcoin news that just happened, Layer 2 Ethereum scaler Arbitrum.
That's this stuff right here. Hold on. That's this, right? Arbitrum. This is what he's talking about, where everybody got the airdrop yesterday and sold it. Damn it.
Arbitrum Foundation homepage crashes as users rush to claim their new airdrop.
Yep.
So the highly anticipated Arbitrum airdrop has finally gone live. Just as a reminder on what Arbitrum is, ARB is the Speedy Layer 2's highly anticipated governance token, which was first announced on March 16th. People were able to claim if they had interacted in the past with the Arbitrum Layer 2. And of course, the price of the launch popped off. It was so awesome seeing everybody at Outer Edge conference in LA. Great to talk crypto, great to be on panels.
Guys.
And if
all right, huge shout out to them. I'm not gonna do the whole shilling thing here for the tickets, but if you guys are interested in seeing anything, go check out them over at Altcoin Daily. They have they do some stuff like publicly and whatever, speaking, all that. This is the Linus Tech Tips channel that got deleted. We're gonna get into that video in just a minute. First, I want to check out CoinDesk, and they had two articles or little videos, short videos on the Coinbase situation here and court stuff. So let's I guess we'll start with this one here, and then we'll get into the next. So let's do it. See what they have to say. And listen, Dan R, both of you guys in the chat, if I have to separate you, just let me know. All right, the real Dan R and the fake Dan R are going at it in the chat. You guys are awesome. We did have one other questions though. Sloth Squash said, why do they call it Shanghai upgrade? It screams rug pull to me, probably because of the Shanghai trespass joke I heard years ago. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure. I'd probably have to look that up, why they call it the Shanghai upgrade. If anybody knows, let us know in the chat. I'm actually kind of interested to know now. All right.
The U.S. Supreme Court appears to be split over whether crypto exchange Coinbase should be allowed to send a pair of class action lawsuits to arbitration. Joining us now to discuss the dispute is Sasha Hodder. She's the founder and managing partner at Hodder Law Firm. Sasha, good afternoon. Just off the bat, how might this have an impact on the crypto industry?
Well, yeah, it's actually a really exciting case because the outcome will determine how crypto plaintiffs can litigate and whether terms of service are actually enforceable by companies. So if this, I would be shocked if Supreme Court doesn't rule with Coinbase on this in the end. You know, we'll get the decision in June. But the Supreme Court has traditionally, even before getting packed with the Republican bench, and this is turning into a bit of a political issue, but typically conservatives, they prefer arbitration clauses, and plaintiff attorneys, they say that it doesn't give enough chance for the plaintiff to argue their case. And especially if you can compound several plaintiffs who have had the same kind of grievances, if they're forced to litigate in arbitration individually, they don't get the benefit of the judge hearing about all the other different similar background, and a transparency issue as well. But for a company, you know, they bargained here for the right to have everything streamlined in an arbitration process, and then the California courts have said, no, we're not going to uphold your terms of service, Coinbase. You've got to deal with this in public and in the court. And then they've got these class action cases forming and moving forward while they're waiting on this appeal. So it's a difficult position for Coinbase.
Yeah, in terms of how this will impact the crypto industry, it looks like it will impact users of exchanges and their consumer rights when potentially getting exploited by scammers. In terms of justice comments today, what did you find? I'm hearing that it's mixed between Justice Kagan and the more conservative justices on the bench.
Yeah, Chief Justice Roberts, he brought up a good point. He said that Congress has already provided a huge benefit to users by allowing immediate appeals from a denial of arbitration instead of having to wait for a final judgment in the case. So it sounded like he was more siding on the side of Coinbase, saying, you know, there's already options, you know, here, so arbitration makes sense.
In terms of the class action lawsuits against Coinbase, do you have some insights on what those are about?
Yeah, so in one of them, the user got scammed for $31,000 by someone impersonating a PayPal employee. So he...
Okay, hold on. Now, a user got scammed by a third party that technically said they worked for PayPal, right? At the end of the day, this guy gave his own information away. Gave his username, his login password. Like, why would you ever do that? Don't ever do that. Don't ever give your username or password to anybody. I don't give a shit who they are. Like, just don't do it. That's stupid. If they need to get into your account, they could do it through the back end or however they have to. Just don't do that, please. Be cautious. People are always there to steal your stuff. At the end of the day, just, you got to know that. All right.
He gave his Coinbase password to someone who called him on the phone and said that they were from PayPal. So he made a user error. He violated the terms of service where he said he would never give the password out. It's unfortunate, but...
Good on Coinbase for making that a user terms in service for, their whole agreement to use their site, because that's some BS. That's, unfortunately, it sucks. The guy lost money, but that's that guy's fault, whoever it was. Anybody that calls you is a scammer. That's how it goes.
I don't think there's much Coinbase can do if users willingly give their password to someone. That person logs in and steals money. It's kind of the user's fault for giving their password out. And then the other case, so there's that one moving forward, and they're saying that through the Electronic Funds Transfer Act, Coinbase has a duty to repay money that were stolen through fraud, but that can't be the way that businesses have to operate. That if you give your password out, the company's responsible for it. But
right, that's absolutely foolish. Like, hey, let me give you my username and password. Let these people steal all my money, and then I'm gonna come and sue you because it's your fault because you were in the middle of that conversation. Like, it's just stupid. It just makes no sense.
Then the other situation, someone got duped into paying $100 to enter some kind of sweepstakes that had a prize of 1.2 million of Dogecoin, and it turned out they could have entered that same sweepstakes without paying the $100. Like, they were rerouted to some scam site that took the $100. So, it is always really difficult to watch out for scams, but the companies, if someone's got a phishing website up that looks like yours, but it's not really your website, from Coinbase's perspective, what can they do about that?
And there's so many phishing scams, so many crypto scams out there. But so why has Coinbase been denied?
Dan R, or Daniel Ring, the real Daniel, or Dan R rather, said, the real Dan R sends super chats. I appreciate the $10 super chat. You're awesome. Thanks, buddy.
Arbitration if it's in their user agreement.
The California courts in the lower courts, the trial courts, they're not fans of arbitration for all the reasons I kind of mentioned earlier. They see it as being anti-plaintiff, and it doesn't give the plaintiff a fair shake at whatever their complaint is in arbitration. But that's just not the case. Arbitration is designed just to be a more streamlined way to handle the issues. It's usually cheaper for a plaintiff. Unless it's a class action where they're doing it on a contingency fee. Arbitration doesn't work on contingency fees, but in general, the arbitration is a fair and partial judge that looks at the facts and the law.
Yeah, certainly a lot less cheaper than all this litigation. Well, it will be interesting to see what happens going forward and what this means for consumer protections for folks using crypto exchanges and other crypto platforms. But
okay, stripping over herself. Anyways, appreciate CoinDesk for that one. We have one more, and then we're going to get into the juicy Linus Tech Tips and how he got hacked. So let's listen to this. This is another CoinDesk. Crypto goes to Supreme Court for the first time with Coinbase dispute. So I want to see what this is all about. Let's hear this one out as well. Again, I'll leave links to all these guys down in the description below.
Mark this day on your calendars, because today, March 21st, 2023, the U.S. Supreme Court will hear for the first time ever a crypto-related case. And to discuss it is a very special guest. It's none other than CoinDesk regulatory reporter Cheyenne Lagone. Wow. We got her. It is an incredible get. Welcome, Cheyenne.
Thank you, Lawrence. That was so much more exciting than the next few minutes of what I have to tell you.
That is not true, because this is probably the biggest news ever. What is it about? How is the Supreme Court now? We're going to hear the words maybe Bitcoin come out of the mouths of such esteemed justices as, I don't know, Clarence Thomas and Sonia Sotomayor and all these people wearing robes. A lot of people wearing robes from the 17th century or whatever, talking about 21st century money. What's going on?
That is true. That will probably happen, but that is about as exciting as I think it's going to get. So this is the Supreme Court's first crypto-related case, but it really isn't a crypto case. It's actually a really boring procedural argument about arbitration, which is sort of like an out-of-court way of settling legal disputes that doesn't involve, a traditional lawsuit that's settled in a court by a judge. So, Coinbase has become a recipient of a lot of class action lawsuits, ranging from, hacks and, marketing issues to, just they've had a lot of class action lawsuits against them. So basically, their terms of service, their user agreement says that those disputes have to be settled in arbitration, so out of court. But a California court last year basically said that that terms of service wasn't fair and that it was unconscionable, so that they allowed the lawsuit to proceed in court. So Coinbase appealed that, and a circuit court, which is the next level of court, upheld that, and Coinbase appealed again. So here we are at the Supreme Court. So basically, Coinbase's lawyers are asking the Supreme Court to pause both of these lawsuits, well, two of the lawsuits, as they try to push them into arbitration. So it's crypto related, but the outcome really doesn't have anything to do with crypto itself.
They spent more money on taking it to the Supreme Court than if they just did arbitration, I guess. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, Cheyenne, what kind of precedent could this set in the future?
Yeah, so I mean, I think that the people that are really going to be watching this are people who file class action lawsuits against crypto companies and crypto companies that have been hit with a lot of class action lawsuits. And this is something that we see happening more and more. I wrote a story last week or the week before about an NFT platform getting hit by a class action lawsuit. So, I mean, basically what we're seeing is these are becoming more common as, you know, the SEC or another regulator says a token is a security or something else. Well, then maybe a company gets hit with a lawsuit saying they were selling unregistered securities. It's a problem for these companies, and it's something that will increasingly plague them. So I think that there will be people paying attention to this outcome, but just for the average retail trader, it's not like this is setting a precedent over what's a security, what's a commodity, you know, the other big questions that are kind of
At least that's good.
Plaguing the industry.
Exciting.
Shout out to CoinDesk. Thanks for that little article, but it was quite boring, actually. All right, let's go and check out what happened with Linus Tech Tips. Did you guys see this video? Did anybody see it? You can't see what? Can't see what? Get out of here. All right, look at this. My channel was deleted last night. This is from Linus Tech Tips. I actually forgot to make him a banner on the bottom. All right, let's see. Let's see what he has to say, because I want to know. It's a 15-minute video, and I want to see what happened. All right, so John English Tech said, yes, pretty cringe. So cringe as in, like, bad on his end or sucky of what they did? No, what? Naked Linus? Dude, tell me, please tell me they didn't find naked pictures of Linus Tech Tips. Oh my God. I'm just going to quit YouTube if that happened. Please tell me that didn't happen. All right, let's go.
Is me racing out of bed for our front row seat to my life's work.
Right. Why does it start with that? All right, well,
vanishing before my eyes. Linus Tech Tips, deleted. Tech Linked, toasted. Tech Quickie, gone. The good news is that if you're watching this, we're back online. The bad news is that this kind of attack has become so commonplace on YouTube that when we sat down to prepare this video, it took us less than 10 seconds to find a huge channel that was dealing with exactly the same thing in that moment. Let's talk then about the motive for these attacks, the process changes that we and
they want your money,
need to make,
and they want to scam you,
and how we can all work together as a community to educate and protect each other from bad actors. Oh, and to tell you about our sponsor, D-Brand. Oh God, not D-Brand.
We're not gonna. Why? I'm not doing sponsor shit. Oh God. All right.
The fireworks started a little after 3 in the morning when the Linus Tech Tips account was renamed to Tesla and started streaming a podcast style.
This is exactly what happened to DJ, by the way. So they must have clicked on a link inside an email that was just corrupted the entire computer, but let's see.
Recording of self-proclaimed techno king Elon Musk discussing cryptocurrency. This in and of itself is not a scam, but...
Real quick, if you guys are just joining, please rewind the video to watch all the Coinbase stuff. I'm just trying to see what happened to a fellow YouTuber, because obviously a lot of us need to be aware of this, and you can lose your crypto even if you're an average Joe that has, you know, phishing attacks on the computer. So just let's see what happens.
The streams linked to a scam website that claimed that for every 1 Bitcoin you sent, they would return double, complete with fake transaction records showing other users definitely getting huge payouts. Over the next couple of hours then, we sparred back and forth. First, I privated the streams.
Why is he's seriously naked? Like, that's legit? Oh my God. Anyways, I need to make a video on this. And this is actually, it's a better time to do it now. So this is a YubiKey 5C. This is like a two-factor authentication for your Google account or whatever you put this on, but there's a physical device. You got to plug it in. You got to hit the tabs on the side to give you the, what's it called? The two-factor authentication to allow you into your stuff. So I need to set that up and give you guys a setup guide. They're relatively cheap. I think like 50 or $100, but it's worth your livelihood being saved and not having any issues like this.
The channel stream key and attempted to reset the account credentials.
Why? Who walks around naked?
As I was investigating the source of the breach, that I had been completely outmaneuvered. They were back in and the streams were live again.
Well, Daniel Ring, so it's not that it didn't, I can guarantee you he didn't have one of these. If he had two-factor authentication, it was probably a phone app. And the phone apps they work, but they're not, they don't work all the time. There's a way to get past them, right? So you got to use a physical hardware device. This is kind of like your ledger. Like you can't send out your crypto without your ledger, right? If it's on the ledger. This is a physical device that you need to plug in.
Okay, so I log back in, nuke the stream again, and I go to, and they're up again. And now videos are being mass deleted from the channel. Over the next couple of hours, playing login whack-a-mole, the Linus Tech Tips, TechLinked, and TechQuickie accounts were each used to host these Elon Musk crypto streams until they were ultimately nuked by YouTube altogether for violating YouTube's terms of service.
Yeah, but so Game with Smokey Dan, real quick. So I want to see what it actually says, but the workaround is only worked around typically on a what do they call it? A known like system, a known computer. So if they have backends into other accounts through that same computer, if you don't have things backed up with like a YubiKey or something along those lines, there's ways to, you know, fish around and get into everything you had access to, which is tough. But that's why that YubiKey is super important.
And I can almost feel your thoughts through the screen right now.
Linus, truly, after all these lectures about two-factor authentication, don't you even protect your own accounts?
I want to see what he says here.
Of course I do. But while strong passwords and multi-factor authentication are very powerful security measures that you should use,
but did he use an app?
They're not
That's
impenetrable.
what I want to know.
First up, let's talk 2FA. Not all factors or additional authentication elements are equally secure. The most common second factor, SMS, can be compromised by simple social engineering targeted at your phone carrier. Check out this video that we posted the last time our account was hijacked for more information about that.
Jeez.
Another common factor, notification-based multi-factor, is susceptible to fatigue attacks, where a perpetrator will constantly try to log in, hoping that you'll assume, oh, it's probably someone from work, or even just click on the notification by accident. It's very problematic. And I'm looking at you, Google, since you can't disable this factor on Google accounts. Even time-based two-factor, like Google Authenticator or Authy, can be compromised, say if you were to accidentally set it up or access it from an infected device. In spite of all of these issues with two-factor, though, it held the line last night. Our attacker not only never gained access to our additional authentication factors, they never even had our passwords. But how can that be? Well, as it turns out, they didn't need any of that, which is a big part of why it took me so long to clue in and stop the spread. I was so focused on the potential damage that could be done by someone who had commandeered my SMS messages or gained access to my Google Authenticator somehow, that I expended valuable time battening down the wrong hatches. If I had watched Theo Joe's recent video on the subject, or at least skimmed the comments, I could have probably stopped the bleeding in a matter of minutes. Shout out Theo Joe. But I didn't, so I got to be educated the hard way about a breed of attacks that bypass trivial things like passwords and 2FA entirely by targeting what's known as a session token. Now, many of you will know this already, and if you do, give yourself a cookie. But after you log into a website and your credentials have been validated, that site will provide your web browser with a session token. This allows your browser, and by extension you, to stay logged in when you restart your browser and go to access that site again. This isn't a bad thing, it's a good thing, because realistically, nobody wants to type in a password every time they want to post instant regret on the internet. But hold on a second. That cookie is stored locally on your device. How would someone else get it? Well, that's where we made a
into
mistake.
your device, then.
Someone on our team, and I'm not saying it was Colton, downloaded what appeared to be a sponsorship offer from a potential partner. It was an innocent enough mistake for the most part. The email came from a legitimate-looking source, and it didn't raise any immediate red flags, like being full of grammatical errors. So they extracted the contents, launched what appeared to be a PDF containing the terms of the deal, then, presumably when it didn't work, went about the rest of their day. What happened in the background took place over the course of just 30 seconds.
Never click on links, people.
The malware accessed all user data from both of their installed browsers, Chrome and Edge, including everything from locally saved passwords to cookies to browser preferences, giving them effectively an exact copy of those browsers on the target machine
them all.
that they could export, including, that's right, session tokens for every logged in website.
Jeez.
Now, no one should unzip an email attachment. File extensions should always be double checked when you're executing anything, and any file that doesn't do what you expect should raise immediate red flags. But then, on the flip side, I can hardly blame a sales rep or a video editor or someone in accounting for not being up on the latest in cybercrime. And
real quick, Mr. Yeti, thanks for joining us, but this is the video about Linus Tech Tips being hacked, and he's kind of explaining how it happened. If you guys are interested and you're just joining in the Coinbase stuff, rewind the video. First half, we went over all the Coinbase lawsuit stuff, so feel free to go watch that. I'll leave links to everything we go over down in the description below, but this is because people are lazy, because when you're not clearing your cache and you're not logging into your Google account every single time on your known PC, if you're not protected enough, things like that could be, they could get hacked into. So like the best way to do it is if you're somebody that's like Linus Tech Tips saying you're trying to get promotions for whatever through emails and all that. For one, they should notify you that they're going to be sending these terms and conditions over for you to download these PDFs. So for one, never download PDFs. You don't know what the hell they are. Two, it's just, I don't know. There's so many ways to prevent this. Clear your cookies, clear your cache, just clear everything on your browser. And it sucks to have to log in every time, but it's the only way to stay safe. So it's a lesson learned, right? At the end of the day.
I also believe that in a healthy organization, actually rolls up the hill rather than down. So there's not going to be any disciplinary actions, because the simple truth is that if we had more rigorous training for our newcomers and better processes for following up notifications from our site-wide anti-malware, this could have been easily avoided. As for why it took so long for us to lock down the account once we knew what was going on, that's another training issue, but this time it was my
I still
training.
don't understand why he's naked.
We use a system for our YouTube channels called Content Manager, which theoretically improves security by allowing us to dole out specific channel access roles to our various team members, rather than just sharing the main account credentials with everyone who needs to access it. This made the process of determining the attack vector way more complicated. You can think of it kind of like replacing your one giant vault door with 20 smaller doors, any one of which realistically still gets you into the vault. Now, in a perfect world, these smaller doors should have been restricted with less access than we configured, but hindsight is 2020, or at least I hope it is.
Someone said he's naked because he has an OnlyFans account. That's great. And you know what? Funny fact on that. There was I was watching something, I forget what it was, but it was on YouTube, and one of the girls that actually does OnlyFans said she gets more people watching her while she's asleep than she does when she's awake, which is quite interesting. Probably hoping for like a nip slip or something. So yeah, you might be making money while he's sleeping. Who knows? Not a bad idea, I guess.
The bottom line is that our disaster response processes need to improve, because I realized at 3 whatever in the morning, shout out Steve from Gamers Nexus for the wake up call, by the way, that I actually didn't know how to reset the passwords and the access control across all of these channels in Channel Manager. And that is not the sort of thing that you want to be troubleshooting buck naked in the wee hours of the morning in the middle of a crisis. In fairness to me, the way that Google handles the intermingling of all their services is not the most intuitive, and both Yvonne and I experienced numerous glitches and timeouts that prevented us from effectively using these tools, even once we did figure out how to use them. Which leads us nicely then into the next part of our discussion. I've owned what I did wrong, and now it's time to talk about Google.
Yeah, John English, I agree.
To their credit, I heard back that someone was
Pretty weird.
aware and working on it at the highest levels within about half an hour of reaching out to my YouTube rep.
Wait, real quick, does he have any kids? Does Linus have kids? Does anybody know? Because, I mean, if you're walking around naked, you got kids, man. No, that's something's wrong.
And they have
Something's wrong.
seemingly improved their internal tools for managing this sort of thing a lot
He has two
since
kids?
the last
Oh,
time
man.
around. They've got forms you can fill out, and the partner reps that we've worked with seem to genuinely care. Shout out MC, I'm so sorry this spoiled your spa day. However, this entire process has been pretty opaque. Other than we're aware and working on it, the internal team doesn't seem to even be allowed to communicate with creators directly. I mean, I get it. Security aside, idiot users probably won't have anything to contribute to their investigation. They figured out that the attack came from one of our non-video production teams pretty quickly and then actually banned that Google Workspace account almost immediately. I mean, realistically, idiot users could just slow them down, but even a quick, hey, I know you're stressed, here's what's going on, and here's how we can keep this from spreading, would almost certainly have calmed my nerves and saved all of us some work by keeping TechLinked and TechQuickie in our hands. And another big problem is that this approach, one-on-one, only benefits larger channels like ours. I've seen quite a few
we don't
people,
get that.
rightly, express some resentment that we were able to get this resolved so quickly when their favorite niche creator X or Y
Again, they're like 7th in Canada for top YouTubers. So
struggled with it for an extended period of time, or even never
that's
got
why
it
I
fully
came back
resolved.
super quick.
So it's clear that there are some changes that need to be made. And
well, it's because LTT is a huge, they're a gold mine for Google, right? For YouTube in general. So obviously they're going to restore their account as fast as they can. They know what's legit and what's not on his channel. And he gets put forth a one-on-one person, like he's saying, like it's kind of like, what the hell do you even call it? I don't know. It's kind of like having a guidance counselor in school, right? Like you get somebody specifically assigned to you. You know what I mean? So that's what they get being that big. I get it.
here are a few of them in no particular order. We need greater security options for key channel attributes. I mean, how can you change the name of a channel without having to re-enter your password?
Yeah,
and your
that's not
two-factor?
okay.
What about resetting a stream key? Same deal, in my opinion. And this is just one of the ways that the impact of a session hijacking can
That's
be
very
limited.
true as well.
Rate limiting is also widely used in API access to services like YouTube. For example, Google will only process a certain number of comment moderation actions per day through their API.
Concierge,
Well,
thank you.
I could see implementing something similar, even if you are directly accessing the service, but then rather than limit it outright, it could prompt for authentication. To be clear, I'm not saying every time you delete a video, it should ask for your password, but say if you were trying to delete 10 or 100 or 1,000 videos at a time, a little, "Are you sure about that? Are you actually you?" would probably be in order.
Yeah.
The funny
That's
thing
true.
is that none of that stuff would even
That's
be
messed up.
necessary with proper security policies on session tokens. The bare minimum would be time-based expiry. You know how when you boot up an old smartphone, all your accounts are usually logged out? Session expiry. But
Yeah, that's
many
true
sites
too.
also factor in other attributes like
Oh, it says no, Google does expire login sessions. This was meant as an example. Look at that, it's that cover in their ass. Just so they don't get sued by Google.
location. So if you were to suddenly try to access a site or service from Antarctica, you should be prompted to log in again. These measures are very common on high-risk websites like online banking. I'm not saying banks are model citizens when it comes to login security, but they do usually invalidate sessions in a matter of minutes.
Damn.
But can you remember the last time Instagram or Snapchat asked you to log in again? Social media platforms, YouTube, tend to be a lot less aggressive since they want to make using their
indirectly
platforms
giving
as
Google shit.
frictionless as possible. Now, in fairness, Google does usually require re-authentication when you're changing a password or other security options, or, I don't know, when a session token gets reused by a new IP address on the other side of the freaking planet. But we've heard from multiple people that this isn't always the case. So the big question is that with Google owning the whole chain here, like start to finish, really, including the bloody web browser, how is this crap not only still possible, but so prevalent? It's time for them to not just ask these questions internally, but come up with real answers for them. I think the only group whose response here was perfect was our community. And no, this is not like standing on stage, yeah, I love you guys, and what. You guys were amazing. Prominent members of our forum, whom I've interacted with over the years, reached out to my team directly. Upstanding citizens were paying real money out of their own pockets to send super chats warning stream viewers that the channel was hijacked. And over 5,000 of you in the last 12 hours alone subscribed to floatplane.com to show your support and to ensure that you wouldn't miss any of our uploads. I have had a pretty rough day, a pretty long day, but you know what? It's also been amazing to see how fast we can bounce back thanks to your
amazing. I don't know if you guys really want to watch that. He's getting all sappy.
Unwavering support, the incredible team we have here. Like everyone, we got Artie over there. Is Colton still there? No? All right, well, whatever. Andrew's there. James is working on guidance for this. Luke was up half the night with me and Yvonne trying to help us figure things out, driving to the office.
I just want to know who had to edit him being naked on his security cameras. That's all I want to know. Because that guy definitely quit.
Really appreciate you all. Our partners at YouTube. And of course, D-Brand. Something. D-Brand.
I knew that was going to happen. I knew they were going to do a stupid ad at the end of it. Anyways. All right. Oh, look at that. Our ARB is only down 6.8%. Anyways, guys, you got to please try to avoid all that nonsense. Don't click on links you don't know what they are. Even if you think you know what they are, don't click on it and just confirm somehow before you do. Yeah, that's pretty much all I could say. All right, so we're gonna go for another 10 minutes or so. What time is it? Yeah, so we got about 10 more minutes and we'll wrap it up. But either way, it's Friday. Today we're gonna be going over the Google Doc for all of the crypto miners. So we're gonna see where the best deal is to get the cheapest ASIC, basically, if you guys are in the hunt for ASICs. MineASIC.com. Let's see. So what are you guys, actually, let me kill this poll in the chat. Do you use Coinbase to buy and sell crypto? 46% of you said yes, 41% said no, and 14% said sometimes. 101 votes. Appreciate you guys. Hey, hit that like button if you can, please. That would be amazing. You guys are awesome. All right, so what miners are you guys most interested in? Can you guys let me know in the chat? I know like obviously the K7, the L7 are going to be the top two, but are there any other ones that you guys are interested in? I mean, if so or if not, it doesn't really make a difference. And my TV's over there playing random stuff. Anyways, all right, let's see. X16Q, yeah, but that's not out yet, right? X16Q, when does that come out? Actually, let's go to Jingle Mining. Let's check. I'll get rid of that. There we go. Perfect. All right, let's see. What am I doing? Jingle Mining. Forgetting what I'm doing over here. Jinglemining.com. Let's see the X16. I don't know where else they're sold. That's why I'm going here. But I don't mind them. I don't have any issues with them. $3,000, right? For this unit, and its expected delivery date of June 30th. I'm still waiting for them to come out with the news for the Bitcoin Jazz Miner, because apparently they're coming out with a Bitcoin Jazz Miner, and I want to know the specs on it. I'm like dying for it. They've said it was going to come out around March, and I haven't heard a damn thing about it. So is what it is. Good morning, Miss Pocket Change. I think the kids are up at this point. Man, I overslept this morning. That's why I started late, to be honest. I forgot to set my alarm. I woke up. I was like, oh, God damn it. It's already 7:45. If you can get an offer of one of them, let me know. I'll buy one too. Yeah, they probably won't let me purchase it early, but I don't know. I'm trying to fight for the specs on it if I can. That'd be great, but they're not. They're holding it close to the chest because I don't know how true it is, to be honest. So we're gonna have to see. But anyways, the X16Q, I mean, this thing looks sick. So available in June, a couple months, 2 months from now. Not too bad. It's supposed to be super efficient. Like if you go to, let's go back to the efficiency tab. You can see that's at the top of the list, or it was, yeah, top of the list. For ETHW though, does anybody mine ETHW? Any of you guys? Let's see if you can buy. It's overpriced or just no profit. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Tight Nightmare. Totally agree. If you can buy it, it's most likely going to be overpriced. But, well, see, the thing is, like with all these dealers, like you go anywhere, Jingle Mining, Belay Mining, Musk Miners, doesn't matter who you go to, right? Anybody other than the dealer is just like a spin-off dealership that's going to sell you the car, but they're going to make profit in the middle. Do you know what I mean? So I get it. It makes sense, but it sucks. I just bought an E9 Pro from Endless Mining. Hell yeah. Let's see. Endless Mining. Let's go to them. See how they're doing. We're going to be checking all these sites later today for the best deals on ASICs. As you guys know, this is the owner of Endless Mining. Let's see. Got an E9 Pro. E9 Pro. $3,500. Why aren't these on sale for like 1,200 G's? Well, I mean, I get it though. I get it. All right. Let's see. This right here. This what you got? The 3680. Chris Hanley, the hash blade's never coming out. It's never coming out. I feel like Hot Crypto saying like something's never going to happen, but I truly believe that's never going to happen. I really do want to get my hands on an S19J Pro or a S19 XP. I'd rather the XP, but I just can't spend the money on it. Not right now. I feel like they're going to come out with something new, and then everyone's going to be fighting for the new ones. Let's see. Oh yeah, the wife is very sick. The kids are sick, and I'm starting to get sick. I can freaking feel it. Sucks. Is what it is. Maybe I just need more coffee. Anyways, all right, what do you guys got? Talk to me. Let's talk. You got any questions? CCXD, when we linking up? Caveman, I didn't even know you were still alive, bro. What's going on? You still living close to me? Still living around here? I need to build a shed, actually. I keep looking at Geek of All Trades. Guys, if you don't know who Geek of All Trades is, he's a head, but you know what? He's a good guy. I'm just kidding. He's hysterical. Geek of All Trades. Let's see. I want to see his shed. Oh, by the way, he fixed his little mini doge. Let me see. Let's go to his shorts. Look at this, dude. This shed, he got delivered right here. This one, it finally arrived, and he deserves more views. This guy.
Only after the better part of a month.
Let's see.
The new workshop finally showed up. Now,
check it
it's a repo, so it's got a little bit of dirty inside that we've still got.
He got the shed for like $4
but
grand delivered to his house, so it was repoed from somebody else's yard, and obviously, whatever. None of that's anybody else's concern, right? But the person that got it taken from. But he said it smelled like trash. I sent him some memes about people being locked up in there. Oh boy, I don't know what just happened.
Finally, after the better part of a month,
let's watch this again.
The new workshop finally showed up.
I sent him. There was some girl found locked in a shed. I was like, I know what happened to that thing. Oh, it was hysterical.
Sweep out and stuff.
Or it was a former meth lab. Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh,
dude, the shed's sick though. I want this so bad.
Smell. Lots and lots of room for
dude, it's huge
growth and potential. Stick around. We will be cleaning this up, getting it set up, and
smelled like wet panda in there.
Equipment in here. Probably live streaming from here quite a bit as well.
Dude, I want this because I want to make an entire solar shed that I can actually do stuff in. Because how sick would it be if I could literally go into my, say my solar trailer and run my main PC off of it and do streaming in there instead of having to do it in the house. Like having a shed, which is actually a workshop that is also a studio that could be just completely done, it would be amazing. It'd be absolutely fantastic. That way you're not taking any space in your house. Like my house is a goddamn mess. This whole YouTube thing's just taking over my life. But regardless, this shed is sick and he's doing some good stuff to it. Check it out.
So, got a little more work done in here. He's got the breaker box wired up.
Sick.
Other than the power from the house. Got some light switches and some lights. Sockets in the walls. Only one over here. There's two on this wall, but got some boards covering it up. One over here. Two more over there. All ready to go with another light. And a light switch as well. So
pretty
now
sick.
All we're waiting on is the power
so bad.
To use these conduits here. Gonna bury a run from the house, come past the shed, so I can bury the solar cables that I've got running here and all the way over here.
That's so
into
awesome.
the shed, hook it up in the circuit box, and we'll be all ready to get to printing in the new workshop.
Pretty sick. Pretty sick. Geek of all trades, guys. Go check him out if you're not subscribed to him. He's awesome. He's trying to get to 10K before the end of the year, or the new year, rather. So, anyways, all right. Let's fill this up. Let's see. So, Caveman Mining, I'm going to put his link in the chat, by the way, for Geek of all trades. That's just a short link, but whatever, brings you to the channel. Caveman Mining said, there is some abandoned warehouses up the street from me. We would see if they allow rent and offer that 12-cent rate from the municipality for residential. That would be amazing. Caveman, I'm definitely down. If you're interested in going in halves on something, let me know, because that would be cool. It'd be unfortunate I have to go get my stuff, but I would totally do it, because that, I mean, having my stuff close to home, being able to record, that'd be amazing. That's like 25 minutes away from me. If you could find good deals on a warehouse that has cheap electric rate, 100%, that's where my stuff's going. Sorry, Terra, but I love Terra Hosting. I love Hawk, Mining King, all those guys, GPU risers, but it sucks not to have my stuff. I hate not having my stuff, but that is definitely that's a sick idea. Sick idea. Joker Miner, aren't you moving? No, not yet. Not yet. If we move, it's not gonna be for a while. Not gonna be for a while. But I'd have to sell a lot of stuff, man. I got a lot of stuff. I got too much stuff. It's unfortunate, but it's not unfortunate. I'm thankful for it, but it'd be a headache to get out of here. Anyways, all right, let's see what else you guys got. I'm over here watching soccer in the background because we're going too long. That's what happens. I don't know what's up with these ads popping up all of a sudden. Never did. Moving to the UK, zero chance. Zero chance. Zero chance of going to UK. Oh, you're crazy. Anyways, I got to do this. I have so much stuff to do. I got to get this YubiKey set up. I got to get this Tangent wallet set up. I have to look at this freaking, what's it called? The LEPAL, the new one. I still haven't opened that thing up. I got to get this thing set up in my garage for the units that don't have Wi-Fi, like the X4 Q. And then I got to get this thing set up, but I got to get a 1 terabyte SD card, or M.2 SD card. Have to purchase one. A FutureBit Apollo miner, BTC miner. I want to get that thing on solar, and I want to see how much it pulls in the what's it called, in the solar trailer. But anyways, yeah, guys, please hit that like button, consider subscribing. You can always change your mind. It's not going to kill you to do it, right? I really appreciate it. Anyways, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your Friday and enjoy your weekend if I don't see you. But either way, I'll be live tomorrow morning and tomorrow night, so hopefully I'll see you guys for that. And yeah, have a good Friday. I'll catch you guys later on this afternoon around 2 p.m. Peace out.